I'm Jessie Heredia, and you're listening to Mom Empowered, where I help moms ditch their anger, break free from anxiety, and create the life they've always wanted. This show is for the mom who's ready to become more free and empowered. Hey mamas, before we dive into today's episode, I want to invite you to come be a part of the Mom Empowered community. This community is a free Facebook group filled with women who are navigating life and motherhood and learning what it means to be empowered, and I would love for you to come meet these women and for you to become even more empowered too. You can click the link in my show notes or search for Mom Empowered in your Facebook app to join. I also want to let you know that there are still spots available in my 6-month Mom Empowered coaching program. I am a firm believer that the women who most enjoy being a mom are the women who feel the most empowered as a mom. And really, this is the driving force behind this program. I work specifically with Christian moms to help them gain more emotional wellness and the confidence that they need to thrive in motherhood and in all areas of life. And when you work with me one-on-one as your coach, we help you break free from whatever is holding you back from transformation, whether that's anxiety or anger or overwhelm. I equip you with the tools and strategies for mastering your thought life and managing your emotions and reaching more of your goals, whether that's starting up a business or losing weight or restoring your marriage, enjoying motherhood more, or just creating a life that's more aligned with your dreams and values. So if you are ready to learn more or take a next step, you can visit my website at jessieheredia.com/coaching and apply for a free empowerment call. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we are going to be talking about sleep. I imagine that a lot of you moms are in a very similar season as me right now. I have a 2-month-old who is waking up every 2.5 hours to eat. And I also have a 2-year-old who recently has started waking up at like the crack of dawn, sometimes wakes up in the middle of the night asking for snuggles or asking for water or whatever, just because, she can. And in a nutshell, I'm not getting very long stretches of sleep these days. My sleep is very much interrupted. And I've noticed that this has created all kinds of mind drama for me that can take root if I'm not careful. And I want to dive into some of these thoughts that I've noticed myself having when I am awake in the middle of the night, because I know that a lot of you moms are in similar seasons where you are having interrupted sleep, you're not getting the best quality sleep, and maybe these thoughts are popping up for you as well. I want to give you a few examples of these certain thoughts and what it can actually look like to take them captive and change the narrative for yourself. Because the odds are that some of the thoughts that you're having when you're up in the middle of the night, or when you're dealing with a toddler who's waking up or a baby who's waking up, those thoughts are most likely not producing the feelings that you want to have. They're not producing a good feeling, and they're also not producing the actions that you want to take. You might be feeling very down and alone, or feeling angry and resentful or stressed, and so maybe you're lashing out, or during the day you notice yourself, just your mind just wandering off, feeling very negative. And I get it, because sleep is a very sensitive subject. I know this firsthand. After years of having insomnia, after having back-to-back pregnancies, after navigating postpartum rage, which often would, come up around the topic of sleep. I know how sensitive sleep is. I really do. And it personally took me a long time to get over my fears of losing sleep. And I still notice that fear trying to creep back in even now. And so I want you to know that, I feel your angst, right? I'm right there with you. I know how tough nighttime can be. But even still, the thoughts that we are having about our kids in the middle of the night, or the beliefs that we hold about ourselves and our ability to handle rough nights or to handle interrupted sleep, those stories we have on repeat in our head about what's going to happen if we don't get enough hours of sleep, I believe that all of these thoughts, all of these things are totally 100% optional. And it's that belief that has been the most freeing for me. And I believe it can be freeing for you if you allow it to be. So today I want to help you interrupt your thoughts around interrupted sleep so that you can stop living afraid or lashing out in frustration or feeling powerless every time you go to bed or every time you wake up in the morning. I want to dive into these thoughts with you. So let's start off with just one that I picked out. I had this one probably 2 nights ago, and you'll notice that like these thoughts are the simplest thoughts. They're so sneaky. They might be there all the time without you even realizing it. But this first one is the thought of I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. Let's sit with that one for a moment. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. The truth is that this might actually be true. Of course, our bodies are going to be tired when our REM cycles are getting interrupted over and over and over again. Of course. But even though this might be true, why is that the thought that you would want to fixate on? Does deciding or declaring that you're going to be tired tomorrow change whether or not you're going to be tired tomorrow? No, it does not. If anything, it's guaranteeing it. It is guaranteeing that you will feel more drained and more sluggish and more tired than you want to be, because this thought it's demotivating from the get-go. It's setting you up to have lowered expectations for your day, which is fine if you're happy with what you're settling with, if you're happy with that. But my guess is that you're not. You're not happy with how you're feeling. You're not happy with how you're behaving. And if this is true, why would you not want to declare something different, something energizing, something motivating, invigorating? We can't always trick our bodies into having the energy that we want it to have, but we do have the power to convince our minds. We do. We have that power. So instead of saying, I'm going to be so tired tomorrow, I want to offer up some new thoughts to you. And these thoughts are, I might be tired tomorrow, but I still have a say over my emotional state. That's a big one for you ladies. I might be tired tomorrow, but that's not a problem that I can't handle. That's not a problem I can't handle. I might be tired tomorrow, but I have the ability to replenish my energy. I have that ability. Or even just the basic thought of, I might be tired tomorrow, but that's okay because being tired is okay. Because exhaustion is safe. I do believe that the more we stop focusing in on the problem that we may or may not be able to do anything about in the moment, and when we stop doing that and instead remind ourselves of the authority and the power that we do have to at least find solutions in the future, the less helpless we will feel. The less we will want to get angry, the less dread we will have about the day and what's coming. And this in turn actually allows us to get really creative and move forward and be more at ease. Because now being tired is not the end of you. Being tired is just a circumstance, and it's a safe one. It can't overpower you in any way unless you let it. So this is one thought that might be popping up a lot for you. Another one, especially if you are in a similar season as I am, is the thought, my child is keeping me from getting sleep. My child is keeping me from getting sleep. Again, this is actually true. Like this might actually be true. And unless you are in a place where you can commit to sleep training or pass along some of those nighttime responsibilities to your partner, which is a whole other conversation in and of itself, this is something that you can't necessarily do much about. And yet, this thought, this narrative in your head about how your child is taking sleep from you, how your child is robbing you, how your child is the reason that you are so tired, and so on and so on. This does not serve you. This only hurts you. It is only going to keep you from being able to embrace and enjoy your child and enjoy your life as a mom. So here are some new thoughts, a new narrative I want to challenge you to practice instead. My child might be keeping me from getting sleep, but I still have full ownership over how I respond and choose to feel about it. That is true, ladies. You still have full ownership over how you respond and choose to feel about it. The next thought, my child might be keeping me from getting sleep, but they are also giving me the opportunity to rely on the Lord. They're giving me the opportunity to exercise more of my strength. My child might be keeping me from getting sleep, but there has never been a tough night I have not survived. There hasn't. I have what it takes to get through this, and God still has amazing things in store for me. Like, I don't want you to think that the goal with any hard situation is to pretend that the situation doesn't exist. I know that as I'm sharing these thoughts that you might be thinking, okay, well, are we just trying to wish away the exhaustion? And no, that's not what I want to do at all. I don't want you to feel like you have to pretend that your tiredness is not real or that these nights are not tough, because they are. They absolutely are. You are validated in this. You really are. But what I want to challenge you to start doing is to see beyond the hard. I want you to see beyond the exhaustion and to allow yourself to believe that there is more that is possible for you than just being a tired, cranky, frustrated mom. No matter how often your sleep is getting interrupted, you still have all that you need to be the mom that you long to be. You have what it takes to be filled with joy and peace and confidence. It is not the number of hours of sleep that makes you that woman. It's not. It's how you choose to work on your thoughts about your sleep, how you choose to rise to the occasion, how you decide to show up no matter your circumstances. You fully becoming that woman will depend on how determined you are to overcome your anxiety. And you can overcome your anxiety. I know it because I've done it. I know it because I help the moms in my Mom Empowered program do it, and you can too. But this will have very little to do with changing your circumstances or changing your sleep, and a lot more to do with changing your thoughts and your perspective. So there's one more thought I want to throw out there that you absolutely have the power to replace if you want to. And that thought is, all I want is to sleep. All I want is to sleep. Now, I know, speaking from personal experience, like this week, that in those moments of being awake with a newborn or having your toddler call out for you in the middle of the night for the 20th time, I know that in those moments you really do want to sleep. Of course you do. Yes, but that is not all that you want. It's not all that you want. Deep down, you have a never-ending desire to be a great mom, to be a strong mom, and to enjoy these years with your little ones instead of just wish them away. I know that deep down, you don't just want sleep, you want to feel healthy. You want to feel energized, you want to be at peace. And these wants are actually thoughts that can carry you through these tough moments. They are what can give you the strength to carry on when you do want sleep, but you're just not getting it. I was on a coaching call the other day with a new mom who was struggling with anxiety about having a large enough stash of breast milk stored away in her freezer. She just really wanted to have a huge stash, even though there was no immediate need for it. She just had this anxiety, just this impulse to keep pumping. And she was spending so much every single day breast pumping because of her fear that if she were to stop, that something might happen and that her baby wouldn't have that milk anymore. And this fear is very real. It is common. It's very real and common for new moms. But this is the question that I challenged her with. A year from now, when your little one is a year old, do you want to look back on her first year of life and have more memories of you spending this much time hooked up to the machine instead of just enjoying your life with her? And the truth was, no, she did not. She did not want to look back and see herself in that way. She wanted to look back and see herself enjoying daily motherhood so much more, actually being present and relaxed and engaged and not stressed at all. And it was like in this moment, as I'm asking her this question and she's realizing what's happening and what will be continuing to happen, it was like in that moment she had been given a permission slip to loosen her grip on life just a little bit more so that she could feel less of that anxiety and feel more free. And this is what I want for you. I want you in a year's time to be able to look back and instead of seeing yourself laying awake night after night or rocking in a chair after hour filled with stress and frustration and resentment, I want you to see yourself laying awake night after night, rocking in a chair hour after hour, filled with calm and filled with love and contentment. I want this for you. And my guess is that you want this for yourself too. And the truth is, what has to change first are going to be your thoughts. The stories in your head about your sleep and about your child and about your capacity and ability to handle this. Now, there are also several practical things you can try, like going to bed earlier if you're able, or giving sleep training a try if you're ready, or using different techniques to calm your mind down if it's racing and keeping you up, or even like slowing your pace of life during the day so that you don't feel as tired and worn down because of what's happening in the night. But like I said earlier, that is another topic for another day. Today, I just simply wanted to offer some coaching around your anxious thoughts, and I want to empower you to start dealing with what's really going on beneath the surface. This truly is my area of expertise. It's how I help women in my coaching program, and if working one-on-one with a coach is something that you are interested in, I do want to remind you that there are still spots available in the Mom Empowered program, and I would be more than happy to get on a free call with you and to answer your questions and help you make an empowered decision. You can fill out a form on my website, jessieheredia.com/coaching, to schedule a call, and your kiddos are more than welcome to be there too, because this is mom life and we are in it together. All right, ladies, I hope that this has been encouraging and helpful to you. I love you all. I am rooting for you. I am praying that you get an amazing, glorious amounts of uninterrupted sleep. But either way, I am cheering you on, and we will chat again soon.